Litigious, that was a hit piece. Okay, y'all need to fucking calm down. It's literally the most no motion ass bullshit. It's the third way. The guys who wrote this for the Wall Street Journal are basically leaning into the institutional legitimacy of the Wall Street Journal. I will fight back, not through like litigation, but I'll fucking write another op-ed. You know what I mean? Either for the Wall Street Journal, or maybe I'll write an op-ed for the New York Times. Who knows? Okay, I'll deal with it. I don't have enough time right now because I'm fucking going to Cuba. All right, I'm a little bit busy. I don't know if you guys are aware. One, we're monitoring the situation, and two, I'm going to fucking Cuba. But this is it. By the way, ironic because it's called Free Expression, is a daily newsletter on American life, politics, and culture. It's called Free Expression. The title is, Democrats are too cozy with Hasan Piker. There's no excuse for failing to call out the anti-Semitism on the left. Okay, yeah, Cuba can wait. You have to respond to this wonkery ASAP. As lifelong Democrats, we agree with Senator Ted Cruz on virtually nothing. Good start. But Mr. Cruz was brave to decry anti-Semitism in the Republican Party. Mr. Cruz was also a big name, calling Tucker Carlson the single most dangerous demagogue in this country. Too few Democrats have followed Mr. Cruz's lead by calling out the rising anti-Semitism on the far left. That must change. The anti-Semitism spewed by Mr. Carlson, Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, and other far-right bigots is well documented and widely condemned. But the far left has anti-Semites too. No left-wing agitator is more influential or extreme than Twitch streamer Hasan Piker. Mr. Piker is often called a progressive, but that does violence to the term. A self-identified Marxist, he is referred to ultra-Orthodox Jews as inbred, employed anti-Semitic dog whistles, bloodthirsty, violent pig dog against an anti-Hamas viewer on his stream, compared liberal Zionists to liberal Nazis, and said, Hamas is 1,000 times better than the Israeli state. I love that they were like, they led in with Ted Cruz. You know, guys who know how to read the fucking room, baby. Guys who know how to read the room. Hey, you know what the Democrats are supposed to do? Fucking drop a voice that is very clearly identifying the popular movement in the heart of the party for what, really? For defending Israel. Yeah, I don't think they should do that. Yeah, I don't think they should do that. I don't know. Obviously, this is an incredible smear, incredible slander. Okay. As someone who has spent every single day and will continue to spend every single other day combating anti-Semitism, it's very funny when they try to do this vicious smear, but it's completely nonsensical. And perhaps even worse, everyone knows that it's nonsensical, because most people realize nowadays that if you say anti-Israel shit, there's going to be a million fucking think pieces on how you're actually anti-Semitic. But most Americans already know that that's bullshit. What's worse is there are actual anti-Semites out there who are taking advantage of this media landscape. And the more that these institutions like the ADL and all these other people, like the more they also tie me back to Nick Fuentes, the more they do a disservice to the term anti-Semitism. Okay? I've spent a tremendous amount of time combating anti-Semitism, decoupling Israel from Jewish people. Okay? Decoupling Zionism from Judaism. I can't expect every person on the planet to have spent 6 years almost daily in this community, but it legitimately drives me insane to see this half-ass shit-slinging. As someone who's here all the time as a Jewish community member, I know anti-Semitism when I see it. And if I thought you were the community were anti-Semitic, I wouldn't be a 63-month sub. Yeah, it's so stupid. It's narcissistic. It's paranoid. It's idiotic. It dilutes the term. It ironically contributes to actual real anti-Semitism being fomented. And these guys don't understand that they are now in the echo chamber, not us. But there's a different tool for this, for the record. There's a different reason for why they're writing this article. And I'll tell you what it is. It's not even because they want to defend Israel. Former Biden press secretary boosted this, to 14 total likes. Hell yeah. Former spokesman for the First Lady, Michael LaRosa. These guys have lost their power in the party, and that's why they're lashing out. It's not just about demanding that the Democrats become pro-Israel. That's one aspect of the story. The other aspect of the story is that third-way neoliberalism is now openly seen as a fucking failed attitude that is responsible for the Democrats losing to Trump twice. They know that the base has rejected third-way neoliberalism. And that's why they're trying to do this. Mr. Piker's depravity doesn't stop there. His misogyny is indistinguishable of the far-right influencers. He believes America deserved 9/11. He praised the Chinese Communist Party, saying, in terms of good governance, there's a lot we can learn from the way they perform out there. Again, totally endorsing these statements. Don't know why they said misogyny when talking about this, but what is misogynistic about this other shit? What is this? Oh my God, they're posting this. They're posting bro tips. Oh, that's awesome. Anyway, Mr. Piker is anti-American, anti-women, anti-Western, and anti-Semitic. No Democrat should engage with him. All should seek to push him to the fringe where he belongs. This isn't happening. The Pod Save America team put him on stage at CrookedCon. Abdul El-Sayed, a candidate for Senate of Michigan, tweeted a picture of himself celebrating Piker with a supporter. California Representative Ro Khanna, a possible presidential hopeful, pushed back on X against concerns we raised about anti-Semitism on the far left, declaring his pride in going on Mr. Piker's feed. Mr. Piker chimed in to support him. Handing Mr. Piker a microphone isn't magnanimous or respectful of views that test your priors. Going on a show isn't a sign of bravery or willingness to talk to the other side or to show up in challenging places. All these things do is support a bigot, but few dare to speak that truth. By the way, the guys that are saying I'm a bigot are the guys that I yell at all the time who do so much work to make the Democrats drop any kind of social progressive value. Okay? I'm the bigot, not them. The guys that tell the Democrats, you shouldn't worry about abortion rights. You shouldn't worry about trans rights. You should worry about, continuing to offer shitty, bottom of the barrel, third way neoliberal positions to the American public that has no appetite for this whatsoever. But few dare speak that truth. The only prominent Democrat to call out Mr. Piker's bigotry directly so far is New York Representative Richie Torres. Again, a blossoming figure of progress in the heart of the party that truly understands. Have you guys noticed that Richie Torres shut the fuck up about Israel? Very strange how he's also stopped being Israel's biggest attack dog. The other Democrats must follow suit. They bring up Richie Torres' idiotic letter to Twitch. Left-wing anti-Semites are savvier than the Nazi endorsers on the right who marched in Charlottesville and sat for dinner with the president. The anti-Semites of the left cloak their attacks in critiques of the present Israeli leadership. Many American Jews, including us, abhor Israel's current leaders. Criticism of Israeli policy isn't anti-Semitic. The Israeli-Hamas war was a humanitarian catastrophe for Gazans. The Israel-Hamas war was a humanitarian catastrophe for Gazans. Settler violence against Palestinians in the West Bank is appalling, but the Jew haters on the left go much further. They use loaded words taught in social justice seminars. Apartheid, genocide, settler colonialism. They push age-old tropes about Jewish wealth and influence. Epstein class, turning tax the rich into tax the Jews. And they replace the word Jew with Zionist, which, by the way, I didn't do this, and I would never do this. And it turns out this was one random psycho and had nothing to do with DSA San Francisco, for the record, that story. But whatever, they're fucking lying anyway, so they'll continue lying. And they replace the word Jew with Zionist. This language is more than offensive. It can beget violence. Last year, an alleged murderer seemingly inspired by left-wing rhetoric killed 2 people for the crime of being at the Capitol Jewish Museum. That's a crazy way to explain that story. Democrats must understand that accepting anti-Semitic figures like Mr. Piker into the mainstream puts Jewish Americans' lives in danger. There's no excuse for putting political tribalism before Jewish safety, or for overlooking hatred to generate likes online, or for failing to act against the surge of anti-Semitism spread by the Hasan Pikers of the world and normalized by too many on the Democratic side. We are all for a big tent, but the Democratic Party needs to draw a line in the sand. Hasan Piker and his fellow Jew haters belong on the other side. Let's look at the comments now. Hi, Randy's husband here. I bristle at the comments that many American Jews abhor Israel's current leaders. This one does not. The October 7 attacks make clear that the Iranian axis is only prepared to deal with Israel on a violent basis. Okay. I applaud the authors for calling out Mr. Piker as well as Tucker Carlson's anti-Semitism. Yes, Mr. Piker's anti-Semitism on the left is no different than Mr. Carlson on the right. It's so easy to blame the Jews for everything. So much is jealousy. Okay. Wall Street Journal is so fucking so unimaginably right-wing. It's a right-wing shithole over there in the comments. Here's a thought. If you're a Democrat, as the authors claim to be, don't vote for the party that hates your ethnicity and wants to see you and your countrymen eliminated. Yeah, vote for the Republicans, the party that is known for not hating Jews, the party that is currently is trying to figure out if the Holocaust really happened, or if it did happen, how deserved was it? That's the party you should vote for, American Jews. Totally. The war in Gaza may be a humanitarian disaster, but Gazans put themselves in that place. Oh my God, there's not even a single fucking person in here that except maybe Lynn Hayes. I'm a person of Jewish ancestry. Many of my ancestors were murdered in the Holocaust, so I feel authorized to complain when people compare anti-Israel sentiment to anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism is hatred against Jewish people. Like myself, anti-Israel sentiment is anger against Israel's aggression towards its neighbors. So this has H3 written all over it. No, dude, no one fucking gives a shit about Ethan Klein. This is totally separate. If you think this has anything to do with Ethan Klein, you're out of your fucking mind. So I'm going to tell you exactly what this is. Okay, sounds like slander. You might have to talk to a lawyer. Man, shut up. No, it's slander, but it doesn't fucking matter. Okay, and you need to understand, this is the most low motion, no motion having ass article that could have ever been written. And the reason for why it's written is not even to defend Israel, which is unpopular in and of itself and idiotic in and of itself. The real reason why they're writing this is because Third Way has completely lost its institutional control. Okay? Third Way has lost its institutional control. Kyle agrees with chat. I know. Listen to me. Third Way, for those of you who don't know, which is where this article is written by, this article is written by a bunch of people that work in a think tank called Third Way. Third Way is basically the post-Bill Clinton think tank that was designed to make the Democratic Party into what you fucking despise. Okay, the Democratic Party that you hate was designed carefully by Third Way. Never heard of Third Way before today, by the way. Yes, I've talked about it before. Sometimes I reference Third Way neoliberalism. Many of you are oblivious to what it is. But they are centrist Democrats, okay? They build themselves as centrist Democrats, right? I said Third Way is the exact reason why Democrats lost to incompetent fascists like Trump twice. They can't publicly defend neoliberal corporate centrism, so they lean into another wedge issue, Israel. These guys have no ability to read the room. Neoliberalism and Israel has no base. The reason why they angled this article on the issue of Israel is because they think that if they just say like, oh, this guy's an anti-Israel bigot, which means that he is an anti-Semite, right? That they think they can actually bully politicians from not associating with someone like myself because they're fucking stupid and think that I am almost single-handedly responsible for how much people fucking hate Israel now. Okay? They're dumb. They're dumb. It's that simple. They're stupid. Because if you strike me down, there will be others that will take my place. I am not single-handedly responsible for people hating Israel. You're a fucking idiot if you think that. Do you understand? I'm a megaphone. I'm offering a voice to those who don't get that voice in mainstream media. That's it. That's it. And a lot of people can't comprehend that. They think, oh, this guy's like hypnotizing people. They unironically think this.
May Allah awaken the people and help them to see the evil doings of Israel and the United States.
It's that simple. They think that I'm like hypnotizing the masses. They don't realize that the masses have come to this conclusion on their own, and they're actively demanding their elected representatives actually abide by the democratic wishes of the masses. You give these people consent to attack you freely. They know they won't be punished, so they continue to lie. This is different from slop tubers. Brother, I don't think you understand. It's irrelevant and worthless. Okay, suing someone for defamation is a long, convoluted, and very expensive process, there is no reason to entertain it. There's no reason to engage with it. The reason why I don't take this initiative is because they've already lost the battle. Who gives a fuck? They've lost the battle. I spent years and years eating this fucking slander non-stop. What good did that do them? I was deplatformed. I had financial opportunities actively taken away. I was cast aside, made into a fucking pariah because the institutional power that the Zionist lobby had was still intact in the beginning of October 7. But we are not living in that media environment any longer. Dark Woke King going full Alex Jones style to defend you in this video.
MAGA Democrats are getting desperate. They're getting desperate. They're beginning to crash out. They're beginning to lash out. So as you know, leadership of the Democratic Party has been an abysmal failure. You have Chuck Schumer. You have Hakeem Jeffries. These are Democrats who I call Diet MAGA Democrats for a reason. They don't really oppose Trump's illegal and offensive war against Iran. They want to see Iran overthrown because they take a tremendous amount of money from the Israel lobby, right? And there's this whole Democratic consultant complex that basically bolsters those kinds of Democrats. These are Democrats that are swimming in corporate money, AI money, Israel lobby money, military industrial complex money, okay? And we just had the perfect encapsulation of this group lashing out. So they decided to go after Hasan Piker in a Wall Street Journal op-ed, okay? It was written by a bunch of third way hacks. Third way is like basically the epicenter of the corporate Democrats. You have this guy, Jim Kessler, he posted it. You have the people who wrote the piece are John Cowan and Lily Cohen. And the title is Democrats Are Too Cozy with Hasan Piker. And in this piece, they go on to viciously smear and libel Hasan Piker in such a disgusting way that, frankly, I tweeted he should sue them because I think he has a case and I think he could win. In the piece, they say in no uncertain terms, not only is he a raging misogynist, but they call him a, quote, Jew hater, okay? They said this, quote, we're all for a big tent, but...
Bro is reading while driving. That is crazy, bro. Pull over, dog. That's crazy.
The Democratic Party needs to draw a line in the sand. Hasan Piker and his fellow Jew haters belong on the other side, okay? So, it goes without saying, I shouldn't have to say this, but I will. It's absolutely untrue. Hasan literally goes out of his way on a daily basis to stress that criticism of Israel does not equal criticism of Jews, right? Just within the past however long, he posted videos. This is where anti-Semitism comes from. This is the real anti-Semitism. Hasan watches like some racist anti-Semitic guy crash out. Anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitism. And it's gotten to the point where when I watch clips of his, sometimes I'll like fucking facepalm a little bit and be like, Hasan, I get it. You don't have to throw it clear every time. We know you aren't anti-Semitic. We know that. Like, you don't have to stress that you're not anti-Semitic every time you correctly attack Israel for their genocide and their ethnic cleansing and their apartheid and their fucking crusade to create a greater Israel, which is going on right now, right in front of our eyes, okay? So, just absolutely libelous. You ready for this? So, here is a part of the piece. According to the Wall Street Journal, Hasan saying apartheid, genocide, and Epstein class are all anti-Semitic. You're not allowed to say those words lest you hate Jews. This is so fucking disingenuous. And you know what? Bottom line, this shit doesn't work anymore. You're not gonna like scare people and lie and force them to shut up and not criticize Israel. You're trying to stifle all criticism of Israel. It's very clear what you're doing. And by the way, Epstein class was coined by Ro Khanna, and he uses it to talk about the top 1%.
Also, and John Ossoff. Like, one of the first people that used the term Epstein class was John Ossoff, who is Jewish, by the way. Like, the fuck are we talking about?
He used it to talk about the billionaires and the elites who go to Epstein Island. And that obviously isn't just fucking Jews. There's a shitload of Christians. I'm sure there's a shitload of people who are not religious at all, right? Like, it has nothing to do with Judaism. In fact, when Ro Khanna was recently attacked by the head of the ADL, also they accused him of being anti-Semitic. He was like confused. He was like, hold on, they're attacking me for going after the quote neocons, and they're saying that
Kyle's right. It's almost anti-Semitic. The throat clear about it every time. Also, our dork woke king is going to crash. We got to talk him down from reading and driving. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even realize he was reading and driving. That's a different demon right there.
It's anti-Semitic. Ro Khanna was like, what are you talking about? Like, neocon is a neoconservative ideology which says we should do war to quote-unquote spread democracy. He's like, that has nothing to do with Judaism. Like, what the fuck are they talking about? It's gotten to the point now where, like, you breathe the wrong way, and they'll accuse you of being an anti-Semite. Okay? And it's just bullshit. Nobody's buying it. Now, you ready for this? The final thing I'll leave you with here is somebody decided, okay, let's look into the history of one of these guys who's from Third Way, who's sharing this piece, Jim Kessler, right? He has never once tweeted about the genocide in Gaza. Not once, y'all. Not once. Like, I'm sorry, man. You can do me a favor and go ahead and shut the fuck up forever. You're not a serious person. You're not an intellectual. You're not an analyst. You're not a truth teller. You have no actual ideology other than sucking off the corporations and the Israel lobby and the military-industrial complex.
True.
The future of the Democratic Party is with people like Hasan Piker and Ro Khanna and me and you watching this. When you look at the polling data, it's like a low of what, 3% of Democrats are still supporting Israel, a high of like 13% maybe in the good polls. It is over. The reason they're crashing out
Bro's doing this in the left lane. Yeah, Alex Jones could never.
Is because they know nobody likes Israel anymore. And nobody's gonna like Israel again, because the fact of the matter is they are a genocidal.
Yeah, but yeah, I also want to point out that actual anti-Semites make no attempt to defend themselves against anti-Semitism because they're fucking anti-Semites. Well, that's not true. Tucker Carlson may or may not be anti-Semitic, but he certainly defends himself. But yeah, Nick Fuentes, literally, whenever people call Nick Fuentes a Jew hater, he's like, of course I hate the Jews. They're demonic entities. You know what I mean? Like, that's what he says. It's crazy. White boy reading while bending the corner, like, whoa.
Apartheid ethno-state. They're currently engaged in a crusade where they're openly creating the Greater Israel Project. They totally obliterated Gaza. They annihilated everybody there. They're going to build a fucking futuristic tech city on top of the skulls of dead babies. They're currently doing pogroms in the West Bank as we speak right now. That's literal. And they just displaced 700,000 people in southern Lebanon, and they're stealing all of southern Lebanon up to the Litani River. And they're open about this fact, okay? So for you to fucking go after Hasan Piker in this moment, by the way, what happened to like, oh, we got to come together, we got to work together, we have to defeat MAGA. MAGA's like the biggest enemy. Well, apparently, you're putting your middle finger up to what? The 90% of the Democratic base that agrees with Hasan and agrees with people like me? Like, I'm sorry, these dirty tricks are not going to work anymore. These guys are just totally embarrassing themselves. The backlash that I'm seeing to this piece is fucking astronomical. I'm seeing nothing but raw anger. People absolutely flipping out on these vile, repulsive, wretched little cretins who are trying to smear somebody as anti-Semitic, libeling him. And the crux of their argument is, stop saying apartheid, even though Israel is factually engaging in apartheid according to human rights organizations. Stop saying genocide, even though it's factually a genocide and there's literal ICC charges against Netanyahu. And stop saying Epstein class. I'm sorry, bro. It is over. It is done. You guys are losing. You're going to continue to lose. It's fucking embarrassing. And this is why we call you Diet MAGA. You go look at all the shit that Hasan Piker is talking about these days. The overwhelming majority of the time, he's got his sights set on MAGA, on the fascists, on the imperialists, okay? And what are these guys doing? Shooting left, punching left. It's just not going to work anymore. You guys are not in the coalition. You are Diet MAGA Democrats. You are warmonger Democrats. And you are the problem in the party. And you're the reason that Democrats have perpetually lost to Donald Trump in the past, which is the most embarrassing fucking thing I've ever heard of in my life. Okay? Yep. The fact that any Democrats listen to you at all is the problem. You are not Democrats. You are Democrats in name only. So please, do me a favor.
It's a karaoke microphone, not a Hitachi magic wand in the back seat.
And I hope Hasan Piker sues the shit out of you, because he has a phenomenal case, and you guys know you're lying, and you did when you wrote the article.
God damn. Fucking Dark Woe King. I mean, he was cooking.